You know this era was big for games like Mario and Zelda, but now it's time to look at the games that are hiding in the shadows of their more popular counterparts. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the most overlooked games of the third generation. Just to be clear, the third generation of gaming includes the Nintendo Entertainment System and its Japanese counterpart, the Famicom, Sega's Master System, and computer games dating from 1983 to 1990. Number 10, Shatterhand. Kicking off our list is this action side-scroller, where your character is apparently badass enough to punch his way through bullets, robots, and even walls. The gameplay is quite simple, and power-ups include robot helpers armed with grenades, swords, and flamethrowers, or a full-on robotic suit that allows you to shoot fireballs. The story is pretty basic. You're good, they're bad, you punch them. Your adventure takes you into several stages, and you can decide which order to finish them in. And along the way, you confront robots, aliens, armed guards, and ninjas. Number 9, Mr. Gimmick. This game had all the cuteness to be good. It is all about a little plush toy who goes on an adventure to save his owner, who is kidnapped by other plush toys, apparently sent by an evil wizard for some reason. The hero's primary way of attack is making a star that can be thrown at his enemies. But some enemies are hard to touch, others take more than one hit to go down, and making a star takes about a second. The game is good, but it's not as kid-friendly control-wise as its art style might lead you to believe. Number 8, Little Samson. Here, we have yet another simple story. Bad guys attack, heroes come to the rescue. The main interest of this game was the fact that you had up to 4 different characters to play with, each having its own attack, special capacity, and even a life bar, which could be increased over time. With highly detailed sprites and animation normally unseen on the NES, it's a shame that this game never caught on. Number 7, Xexes, or Zexes, or Sexies, or I don't know. Once you get past the pronunciation of this game, it takes you on a side-scrolling RPG adventure where you play as Apollo, a spaceman who has to, and stop me if you've heard this one, save a princess from a terrible evil. The power-ups come in the form of items that you can buy in exchange for E-balls collected from enemies or treasure rooms. The genres seem to mix even more than the letters of the name here, but the game itself was surprisingly easy to understand, and the NPCs gave you all the info you needed to progress. Number 6, Captain Bucky O'Hare. Based on just as overlooked a cartoon show that lasted only 1 season, this game was a good example of a multi-character game done well. You first have to rescue your crew, scattered on different planets, and as you do, you can play as each one of them, using their different weapons and special abilities. Also worth mentioning was the arcade game released at the same time, which concluded the unfinished plot of the cancelled cartoon show. Number 5, Gun Knack. What do you do when cosmic radiation causes ordinary inanimate objects to suddenly spring to life and attack mankind? Well, you send in Special Commander Gun Knack to blow them all up. This top-down shoot-'em-up was known for its vast array of power-ups, some obtained by hitting little space octopi, and others that could be bought from a gun lover's version of a fast food chain. There's also a robot rabbit from space. Did we mention this game is Japanese? Number 4, Nightshade. Now, here's an interesting game that's part point-and-click adventure, part 2D fighter. You play as the titular hero trying to stop an old Egyptian god, using a variety of objects you find along the way, as well as your fists, to fight henchmen. The game is detailed enough that you don't have to do too much pixel hunting to find notable items, and it both features quite a bit of jokes and some sweet cinematic moments. As such, many who know it consider it to be a game that was way ahead of its time. Number 3, Vice Project Doom. This one is for the 80s action movie fans, starting with an obvious, overly rich villain, followed by a fast-paced car chase where you get to meet the hero, Hart, a badass cop who uses a gun, a sword, and grenades to fight his enemies. As one of the few NES games to have parallax scrolling, It featured set pieces like a car chase and a rail shooter section. Later sections became a more standard side-scroller, where you shoot ninjas. Lots of ninjas. Number 2, Clash at Demon Head. This game was original on many levels. The goal is to save the inventor of the Doomsday device and stop said device. But for that, you need to travel all over the non-linear map in order to find the power-ups and items that you'll need. The graphics look like an old Japanese anime, giving it a somewhat comedic look, and there are many useful features, such as the ability to shop on demand. Even better still was the look on the bad guys' faces when you hit them. Before we unveil our top pick, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, The Guardian Legend. Topping off our list is this multi-gameplay pearl. As a gigantic object approaches your homeland, you are sent to confront it. The game is a combination of a Zelda-style adventure game, where you have to solve puzzles and buy stuff, and sections called corridors that are essentially shoot-'em-up stages, where you blast through enemies and fight large bosses. Even though it combined elements from two very popular games, Zelda and Gradius, it came out late in the NES lifecycle, and its box art did not correspond to its excellent content. Chances are we've overlooked a few games during this era, so let us know about some NES or Master System games that didn't get any recognition. And for more underappreciated top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.